Hi, welcome back. This is my third video. I would like to thank all those people who have subscribed to my videos over the last 2 days and liked them. My first videos had over 100 views, which for someone who's just completely started out, I'm very amazed about. This video is obviously a part of an ongoing series, and it's really a follow-on from yesterday's video. So yesterday I talked about how to prepare for an interview. Today I'm going to focus on interviewing itself, particularly for sales folks. Now, I do intend to do one for other functions within the go-to-market organization, if you're pre-sales, post-sales, folks, customer success individuals, you name it, I've recruited it. But also, I will also do one specifically for tech people, if you're a software engineer, a post-sales consultant, those types of videos as well. So watch out for those over the next few days and weeks. I'm here to help. I'm here to help you prepare and land a job. Reality is we're on an unprecedented situation when it comes to global recruitment. You've been there, I've been there, and I just really want to try and help you. So let's move on to sales recruitment. So you've applied and you've been requested for an interview. So your first call is going to be for probably about half an hour with a recruiter. Now, the key things which you're going to need to have as a sales individual is get a good understanding from the recruiter about the role. Is it an enterprise net new logo business role, an account management role where you're growing out, a hybrid role? Really critical, and make sure you get the job spec from them. Additionally, what you really also should be prepared for is your numbers. When we put your details forward to a hiring manager, a VP, they're going to want to see the numbers. So make sure that's clearly marked out in your CV. Make sure you know your numbers, have your Excel spreadsheet next open to you if necessary. Any records of achievement, like when you've been to President's Clubs or won quarterly sales reviews or Rookie of the Year, yet again, really helps us nail that down. Other things about numbers in and around that, the average sales life cycle, your average net new logo acquisitions, how you've grown account year on year in terms of net new revenue with inside accounts. So you really make sure you have that ready for the recruiter, because that really does help speed up that conversation with them, and it will be asked and they have to put it in their notes. Very, very simple. Other types of questions which you might get asked is obviously around sales methodology training. Have you gone through MEDDIC, MEDDPICC, Challenger Sales, Spin Selling? All these, yet again, it's showing that structured approach which you're looking for within sales. And that's what we're typically trying to assess, is that structure, the ability to achieve and overachieve. Now, going beyond that kind of basic stuff is really the other kind of things that we're seeing within the recruitment market, particularly for sales folks. Talent acquisition teams internally have been absolutely decimated. My last team was 16 people, it's now down to 4. Marketing teams have probably even been more decimated. So the ability to self-prospect your own leads is also another critical thing. Companies are trying to do a lot more with a lot less resources. And the best salespeople I've seen throughout my career have been very grateful for leads when it's come from marketing, SDRs, BDRs, but they've always done their own self-prospecting, from opening up a newspaper, following a blog, going to events. Any examples where you've done that is fantastic. One of the things which I personally like to do to gauge a high level of emotional intelligence, to get me to walk you through deals which you've won, deals which you've lost. Who helped you win those deals? Did you have an internal champion on the client side? Were you able to speak to the business budget holder? Which personas you're speaking to within the business? Are you just speaking to IT? Do you go and speak to the budget holders, the VP unit holders? Are you looking, to just sell and speed and feed solution, which is perfectly fine, not knocking that? Or are you trying to solve problems which the client doesn't even realize they have? Can you take a client on a journey from A to B to Z, or Z if you're American, and really provide real business value to the client? Because each role is not going to be the same, but that's what I would be looking for. Now, and obviously, if I think you're good, my personal approach is I just get you straight into the diary of the hiring manager. quite typically, most recruiters will just, send your CV and will wait for feedback. Um, if I'm not confident in the candidate, I'm not going to put you forward. And it's perfectly acceptable for you to try and close out the recruiter at that stage, saying, "How do you think I've done? Will you be putting me forward? Or wanting to arrange interview." All those key things. It's absolutely perfectly reasonable. Um, Now, in regards to next stage should be with the hiring manager. If the hiring manager is not available, they should either be giving it to a direct peer, like i.e., someone at their grade, or to the area sales director or to the VP. Now, there could be multiple reasons why they might not be available. Don't take that personally. They could be on vacation. They could have a family emergency. They could be at a client meeting but are very keen to get the interview process done and dusted. They don't want to be seen as a blocker, but you will have to have that interview with the hiring manager. But that's typically 98% of the time is going to be your first port of call, 99% of the time. If that goes well, there's one of two options that we would typically look at. One, we either get you in for a panel or presentation interview. My preference is not to do that as the kind of third stage process. My preference would get you to have an interview with the manager's boss, the area sales director, the VP, whatever their job title is. And then if that goes well, what we would then do is get that presentation panel interview out the way. So one of the things, as I mentioned earlier, is clients and companies are looking to do a lot more with a lot less. So if they can bring someone in who's got connections, who's thought about where that company solutions could work really well with their existing clients or previous clients who they worked with, who will they go and approach in those organizations, is also another kind of key critical factor to your ramp up to productivity and success in achieving number and overachievement. You don't go into sales to just do number, you go into sales to overachieve. That you live life dangerously as a salesperson. If you don't hit number, you're out the door. And obviously you want to get to accelerators. So yet again, that sales manager, that area sales director, VP, they're only paid their commission on their teams and region successes. So obviously they want to hire good people that are enabled and equipped to go and hit number and beat number, because it makes them look good and they're earning more money. The best salespeople I know will earn more money than their managers. Okay, so yet again, when you're having that conversation with the hiring manager, with the VP, they're wanting to know how quickly you can ramp up, where your solution might fit in, how you're going to propose that solution to a customer, understanding the personas that you're speaking to. Are you speaking to business budget holders, C-level, IT, and also get that real understanding of your sales approach and your sales methodology. Okay, now you get through the hiring manager, you get through the director or VP, and then obviously you've got your panel and presentation interview. The key thing here is really do a few run-throughs on your presentation with a friend, with a family member, with a trusted colleague, with your mentor. It's absolutely critical. I'm not going to tell you the amount of times I've seen very experienced salespeople screw that up. Okay, some people are very keen on time management, so you might have someone on the panel who say, well, it's supposed to be a 15-minute 20 presentation and they've gone on for 22 minutes. Doesn't look good. If you're ill and having a cough and a cold, let the recruiter know, I've come down with a cough and a cold, I'm very keen, I need to rearrange. I've had candidates try to do presentation and panel interviews when they've got a cough and a cold. I know they want the job, they're very keen on the job. Make sure you're in a position. Have a glass of water handy if you do get the dry throat, okay? So do those run-throughs, make sure it's on time. Now, unless you're very confident on PowerPoint presentations, keep it simple. Don't put too many fancy graphics in. Keep the bullet points short and sweet. These are salespeople that ultimately you're presenting to. They don't need an in-depth technical background and everything. Their attention spans are short. They want to get to their questions. They want to probe you. They want to ask you follow-up questions, okay? So yet again, this is a situation where less is more for you. So overall, that's what we're looking for. as a hiring team inside talent acquisition and within a sales team. And that's typically what you will go through on an interview process. Now, it might chop and change depending on priorities, depending on each company, but that's generally how, over the last 10 plus years of recruitment, how sales recruitment actually works. If you've got any follow-up questions, please ping me in the comments. I'd be more than happy to try and answer them for you. Remember, I'm trying to make this very generic to salespeople in general. So, if you're in pharmaceutical sales versus tech sales, it's going to be slightly different for each field. But overall, this is the process which internal TA and the hiring team will take on a sales hire. I wish you well. Have a great evening ahead. I will say, Annyeong sana. Auf Wiedersehen. Ciao, ciao. Au revoir. Bye-bye.